Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a necklace using our SoftFlex Company's Spider Queen design kit. Now I've already got it laid down the way I want to make it, but that's fine. So anyway, I'm hoping this will work out exactly the way I want it. Let's turn down and I'll show you what we're doing. Now I've got the beads laid out the way I want them to work. And as well as this bead strand, we're going to use some chain reaction. This is chain reaction number 17 from Jessie James Beads to go up the sides. Most of these beads are from, well actually, other than the melon beads, I think all of the beads are from the little bead mix in Jessie James Beads. Well, for the bead pack for the design elements bead pack that comes with Spider Queen. Then I've got some scrap of this same chain reaction, which we're going to hook these little guys onto here with some jump rings in the chain. And of course we'll use our purple SoftFlex, but this is the way we're going to string it up. So I am going to get some SoftFlex out and we will start doing that. So since I have it all strung out already, how I want it to be, I'm just going to pull some off of the spool, put a bead stopper down here, and just work right off the spool. So this bead is one of those little ones that's a little bit like a pear shape almost. So we're going to put it on first with the slimmer side facing in. And then we're just going to go down the line here, how I have them set up. Now we've got to the place where I intend to put one of these chains in. So we're going to just bead stopper this for a minute while I get out a little jump ring, or a few, and we're going to put this chain onto a jump ring so that we can hook it right, slide it onto the bead strand right here. Now I'm using an oval jump ring. I like an oval jump ring because the break is here in the side, and that means that when gravity takes over, it will hang, that the break is at the side of it as opposed to at the top or the bottom, so you don't have to worry about your piece falling out of it. So there's that one. Now we're going to hang this onto here later, but right now we're going to just string the beads. Now here's where the next chain is that we need to hook on. Now this little spider is going to have two chains, one coming from either direction to hook him into the chain, the regular strand. Now you could just hook the chain directly on without the jump rings. I just think it gives it just a teeny bit more space with a little jump ring there rather than simply the chain. Here is the next. Well, it's usually beads I flip on the floor. I guess it gets to be the bead stopper today. Now, one thing I want to check right now is how these come together, and there's going to be plenty of space. Now, I was worried that it might be too far apart, and that would have damaged or not let the spider come in properly. Next one. Now this time, because this one is got that little knob on the bottom, we got to make sure that this little guy does too. Otherwise, we'll be upside down. So, done with this baby. No, we're not quite done with this baby. I just noticed. Do you see how it's not closed all the way there? We do want it to be closed. There we go. Okay, there we are, all strung. So now we'll put a bead stopper over on this side. And we can cut the wires. You can see I'm going to leave an inch or two on either side as I cut it, because I do not want to have the the wire be so short that I can't work with it easily. So we'll cut it this side off, and we can put our wire away. So now that we've got this done here, we can put either put our chain on right now, or we can put our little spider pieces on. So we're going to be like this. And then these two are going to come together with this one in the middle. Now the way this is sitting, I may end up needing 2 jump rings for our little spider here. We will see as we go along. But first we'll start putting on the side ones, We'll get a couple more jump rings out here to do that. We'll hang the spider with just the one at first, and we'll see how that looks. It might demand another one, just because of the way it turns. So this one will go onto the chain here. Oh, baby, accept your... There we go. And we'll put the little spider web on and close this one up. Now this one does not feel like it closed all the way. And if that happens to you, just take them and ease them a little bit at a time until you feel them scrape together, which I just did. So there's our one little spider on. Now we'll put the other side on. Now these little spider webs do have a front and a back. See how the other side is. So make sure when you put them on, you've got them going the proper direction. Now we're gonna see about getting our spider here in the middle. I think we are going to need a second jump ring. The more I look at this, I think we will. But let's see here. Yes. So we'll get one more jump ring to put our spider on. And then it's time to hook our chain reaction up our sides. So here we go. There we go. Now we just need to hook our chain reaction on. Are those cute? So now the next step, like I say, is to put our chain reaction on. So we'll break this open here. Pull our chain reaction out. Now the chain reactions tend to be 18 inches. But as you can see, when you get to this place right here, one ends bead and the other one does not. So what I generally do is, first of all, I take the chain reaction off on the one side. And then I will cut that jewel off so that it's not in the middle. And then we'll split our chain reaction up down here at the base so that it's going to hook on either side with closer to this jewel here. Now this will also depend on how long you want to make it. Let's see how long we are here with our spider strand here. And it is 8 inches. You're twisted, baby. And incidentally, not only is this 8 inches beaded place, but in case you're interested in how much wire we ended up using, it's about a foot. So now the question becomes, how long do we want this to be? This is 8 inches. The chain is 18. It's going to be a teeny bit shorter because I'm going to take this bead off. But do we want it to be 26 inches? I doubt it. Maybe 20 or even 22, 24, but I don't think we want it to be as long as it would be with everything. I'm thinking maybe 20, 22 is what I'm thinking I would like. So we have to decide where we need to cut our chain reaction to get the size we want. So I'm thinking we'll probably cut it at 14 because it's going to be a little longer than that anyway because we're going to put in a magnetic clasp inside. So let's cut our chain, this chain, so that it will fall in a place where I can break it at 14. So this is 12. 13. Let's see. Do this again. I'm going to cut that one off. So that's 12. And this is 14. So it's going to end up being a little smaller because I am going to cut these two off. So it will end up being 12, and almost 14. And with the added addition of the clasp, and the two ends where you need to put them together, it probably will end up being 14. So let's hook this end back up to this loose bead so that we don't lose them. And put it aside. Now we can do this one of two ways. We can split it right now, or we can wait until we've got things more put together. But as it happens, this is actually going to have a hunk taken out right here because we're going to be in the middle and we'll need that little bit gone. So we will take that out right there. And put the other side as well. So now we have our 2 pieces of chain reaction, and we're going to put one on one side of this and one on the other, hooked in like so. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can hook it directly to the SoftFlex directly to the chain, or you can hook it to a jump ring and then onto the chain. I'm going to directly put it onto, crimp it directly onto the chain. So we'll get a couple of crimp tubes out here. And we will crimp these up. So we'll get my crimping pliers out. I use magical crimpers. They have a little divot here. You put the tube in here after you get it on, and just crimp it down with that. So we'll just go get this other little end here, put it through our wire, get our crimp tube in. Now I've got gunmetal. You could use silver as well. A lot of the pieces obviously are silver, so gunmetal would be, silver would have been just fine for the not only the crimps, but also for all the jump rings we used. So there, we're going to put that, see, we've got that set in there now, so we're just going to put this right in the center and squish. And then we're going to turn it and squish it, and keep turning and squishing until it doesn't squish anymore, and you formed this little ball. And then do a tug test. If it looks fine, roll these things over to this side, and then we'll put on the other side. Got that here. Put our bead in. Get our chain reaction. Now make sure you got the right side. See, this one's longer than that side. If I almost grabbed it and put it on that side. So we don't want that. We want the shorter side to be here. So there we go. Through the crimp and this first bead or 2. Now we want to make sure that we're down all the way. Okay. As you see, it's trying to push itself back up here. I think that looks good to the other side. About right. So we'll get in here and we'll crimp this. Okay, it feels good. So we will get our excess wire cut off here. Got it backwards, sitting on here. So flip her around, not that it makes any difference. We can do that later, or here, or now, or there we go. Now the last step is to put on our clasp. Now I've got a magnetic clasp. This is a very strong little clasp, which we're gonna use to put this on with. And we'll need a couple of jump rings. So let's open our jump ring up, put our magnetic clasp on, and we are done with our necklace. Okay, one side on. And two sides on. And our necklace is done. Isn't that pretty? There she is. This one's flipped a little bit. There we go. Just like so. Isn't she great? I think that turned out just the way I wanted it to. So here we go. Here's our Spider Queen necklace. Didn't that turn out cool? I think it turned out really nicely. And now it could drape a little longer, and you could put an extension chain if you wanted to do that, to get it to drape longer, but it's just right about yace long, and I like it. I think it's, if you don't want it to be too much longer than this, I don't think, because if it were, it wouldn't, the little spiders wouldn't drape quite right, I don't think. But I think it turned out quite nicely. I like it a lot. Definitely as I envisioned it, with our little spider webs and our spider hanging down there. So, yes. Anyway, that is our Spider Queen necklace with our spider webs and our spider. This has been Rose from Rose's Garden, working with the SoftFlex Company Design Kit Spider Queen, and I hope you enjoyed making this with me. Bye-bye.